updates on sports stories across the globe, we have Ebi Yomon right here with us in the studio.
You guys have applause for that. Ebi, you're welcome. Good to see you. Good to have you live in the studio. Live.
Maybe you need to travel a bit more often so you can come via Lagos, Abuja.
Yeah, definitely. Good to see all three of you today. And I know the whole week, the past week has been something sad for Nigerian sport, but we'll still continue on that, hoping to build up on the performance at the Olympics. But 24 athletes will fly the flag of Nigeria at the Paralympics, which starts on August 28th. And we know that the Paralympics has amassed a total of 80 medals. And they'll be hoping to get more medals. There were 4 medals in Tokyo. 4 gold medals in Tokyo. How many gold medals will be gotten this time out? So many are skeptical of the support, but the Paralympians are athletes who almost always fly Nigerians' flags, getting medals as every event they go for. And still on a related topic, that Thierry Henry has resigned as the France under-21 manager after leading them to a silver medal. He came out to say that that is one of his biggest sporting achievements. He's coached in Monaco, in Montreal. He was also an assistant Belgian manager, but he's going to be resigning, and he's saying it is for personal reasons, not giving any major reason for that. And away from that, we go to the Premier League, where we had the last match, the one game played with Vardy securing a point for Leicester City. His goal helped them come from goal down. It's a very intense match where we had been tackled, been taken out, and Vardy made a mocking sign to Tottenham, telling them that he has won Premier League and they have nothing. And as it stands, we've seen the table, the final table after the first week, and Vardy is one of the best players on match day one, amassing a total of 8 goals in all the first starts he's made in the tournament and in the Premier League. And away from that, we'll look at the transfer window, and it's something interesting as João Felix will be returning to Chelsea on a permanent deal that's till 2030, and this is an exchange for Conor Gallagher, who was the captain last season, and he'll be going to Atletico Madrid as João Felix comes from Atletico Madrid to Chelsea. He's going to be going for his medicals today. He wasn't even training with the club, the first team club, so he will be hoping to do something good there. Where Lukaku is still looking for signings, and hopefully he gets that done. For Gundogan has announced his retirement from international football, and he might be leaving Barcelona, and there are talks from transfer market saying that he may be coming back to Manchester City. And for Pierre Lukaku, he's left AC Milan and he'll be going to Juventus. And away from football, we look at tennis, where Sabalenka has won her first title since the Australian Open. I think she has a lot of fans here in the studio, but she's one person who is consistent when it comes to the Australian Open, and now she's done it in the Cincinnati Open. She's the athlete who has had the most Masters finals since 2017, being in the finals 29 times, closely followed by Swiatek, who's been in the finals 26 times. And still on Cincinnati Open, we had Yannick Sinner getting a victory. I think so many his fans have been waiting for him to win another title. He's done that in the Masters, but since the Australian Open, he's not gotten a Grand Slam victory. And now he's gotten a 1,000 Masters Open. Big one for him, a big 2024 for Yannick Sinner. Well, that's all from sports now.
Look, Jamie, Vardy is the same age as Novak Djokovic. This man is 37 years old. He is still playing football. He's still doing well. So to rescue Leicester, and then the mocking part of we have one title, you don't, to Tottenham. I thought that was pretty funny. Sabalenka, she missed the Olympics. I think it was through injury or so, and I thought she would have been a force to be reckoned with had she been able to participate. She, winning these titles is who you beat. She beat Iga Swiatek on her way to getting this title. Very, very much impressive. And then finally, Yannick Sinner. I mean, he also missed the Olympics as well. Yannick Sinner started off the year so well. He beat Djokovic in the semi-finals of the Australian Open on the way to his title. I think he came from 2 sets down to beat Medvedev. So it looks like he's coming back, and hard court-side surface where he does pretty well. This troublemaker, Tiafo, I don't know who saw that viral video. Tiafo made a gesture. Okay, you saw it, right? He made a gesture, a terrible gesture on camera when this man was picking up his trophy, which I thought was hilarious. So, Ebi, good to see you. Great sports updates from us.
Yeah, excellent. I mean, I'd like to ask you the same question we asked Aaron yesterday, because you're just fresh from the Olympics. So from your bird's eye view, in terms of some of the lessons we can learn, yes, we don't want to take away the attention from the Paralympians, because they often, usually would give a good outing. I know that Nigeria has been represented in 4 categories, 24 athletes. We have para-athletics, para-badminton, para-powerlifting, and I believe table tennis as well. So we're looking forward to supporting them. But whilst we're doing that, we must learn lessons, and I'm hoping that they wouldn't also, some of the immediate things that we can learn from the Olympics itself, we can also be able to fix so that they don't go out there and then we come out and hear stories about how they had to cater for themselves, they were not well looked after, somebody forgot to register somebody for a particular event, hoping that would end. But the reason I keep mentioning this is that usually just immediately after a tournament, we talk about it and then we move on. Nothing happens, yes. Senator John Owa had said that there would be a detailed investigation into what happened, and these people that made the Nigerian delegation to Olympics come out with they came, they saw, and they failed as the legal headline. Very sad, very unfortunate, but that's the situation. And also, I hope I'm not being too negative for you, but that's what happened.
But just a quick point. Part of the reason why we don't perform well in sports is because of what? Underinvestment. And where can you get money from to invest in sports? Where can you get the money? By removing subsidy, Abi? Okay.
The subsidy they removed in the first few months.
You can invest it in sports.
It's like the subsidy is never ending money, Rotus. Because we want to invest in education, health, sports, everything.
You can 6.8 trillion.
Beyond, it's also mismanagement. They released 9 billion. Let us start with that one first. And it goes back to what I was saying. Let's start with how much money.
The approval of the money was important. Now you look at, in Nigeria, approval doesn't mean disbursement.
Yeah. So what? How much was
exactly?
Disbursed?
Yes,
how much
you approved the money at 12 billion, 3 billion for the Paralympics, 9 billion for the Olympics. And now this is participation money. It's not qualification money. There are countries that have invested hugely in qualifications. And we know there's a window. So you're going to be waiting for every athlete to qualify before you disburse money for the Olympics.
No, but there's nothing about thanking her for that. Why didn't they disburse pre-qualification money?
What we are saying is that in Nigeria, right, sport is not really as much as a priority. For instance, at the Olympics, right, the Denmark under-19 handball team, they were not participating in the Olympics, but they came to understudy the team participating.
Excellent.
They are preparing them for the Olympics in 2028. But Nigeria still practices the fire brigade style. They just want to rush. You can't beat it. At the last Olympics, Sha'Carri Richardson did not participate because she was banned for doping, for marijuana use. And since then, she had been in almost every top Diamond League meet. And she got a silver medal and won the 4x400 meter gold. It shows progression. Same with Leslie Tebogo. He's been on that path. Yeah. And you look at the Olympics, I think Nigerians, they had a lot of expectations from these athletes. Because you look at the finishing time before the Olympics, you see you are for the girls like Favour Philly, you are qualifying with 11.11, and in the Olympics, the time for gold medals or silver or even bronze medals is usually between 10.58 to 10.89. So what are you doing? You're an African champion. So
bless you so much. Some people will say we should have had hope. Maybe hope is what they used to eat. You will turn hope to barbecue chicken, just like a man that comes to me and say, "Oh God, I'm hungry." He said, "Don't worry, be hopeful, be hopeful." That hope, you cook it. You cook it as food, you make it as a saru.
Hope, currency of hope.
Money, not hope. Money.
All right. So currency of hope. Now, I want to just, so in terms, so some of these things you've mentioned, it's not too late. And that's why I said that we must be able to take lessons and in the immediate, even test it out with the Paralympics. So the first thing I'd ask is that, can we increase in terms of, since we have 3 billion naira that has been approved, hopefully it will be disbursed. But it looks like the Minister of Sports is very serious. She's saying that there's a difference between approval and disbursement.
So what I'm saying is, it was the timing. Look at the timing. The timing needs to be perfect. The Olympics is starting in July, and you know that
we've been making this noise from the beginning of the year.
So what I wanted to say is this, please, with due respect. Maybe I put it to you that they've not completed paying the money for the Commonwealth, the other girls. No.
Okay.
Every athlete said they have not received the money. I have my ears to the ground. Yeah, they say they've not still received their money. Some athletes are still there. It's not entirely paid. So you are talking about hope. And when
maybe they paid them in hope.
With hope currency. When Roju is talking about subsidies solving all the problem, okay, so when we even bring the subsidy money out now, pay them, the money will also get to them because they say they didn't submit their BVN.
You know, just like it's the subsidy money that they use for basketball that is happening. Why are we even talking about subsidy? Maybe subsidy has been removed. President Tinubu announced subsidy gone. NNPC said yesterday we are not paying subsidy. Yeah, we are saving the subsidy money to be able to do all of this.
Sports in Nigeria needs to generate money.
Truth has to be said.
That is it.
Truth has to be said.
Yes.
Sports in Nigeria will never generate money except you put the right people in sports.
Who can brand
so we are
properly.
putting jokers in sports in Nigeria. It's just like the case of Hope now that we are talking. Ruth will say I'm negative. I'd love to be realistic.
I get you.
Truth has to be said.
Shola
It will
Akinlade.
never generate money unless you put the right people in the right position. Look at the case of Annette. Look at the case of Ophili. That clerical error destroyed them. Annette still went to America to win a silver medal in hammer.
Yes.
The first silver medal in hammer. And we are busy here patting people on the back. And all the minister could give us was a long epistle where he did not personally take responsibility for what happened. And he was saying things were delayed and all of that. Look at what the cyclist said. Our velodrome are being used to do parties. Cyclists can train on our velodrome and you want them to go to the Olympics. And they built that with a lot of money here. And the velodromes are not working. So when I keep telling you that we have a culture of madness and impunity, it will eat strategy for breaker. You think I'm joking? You think I don't love this country? You think I don't believe in this country?
So here's an
I
example.
believe so much in this country, but the madness of people in authority scares me.
So
That's just it.
So here's the thing. Here's an example of how things are supposed to work. The CEO of Paystack, Shola Akinlade, in the private sector.
Yeah.
They, of course, Stripe bought them out, 200 million. He took part of his earnings.
Lagos,
Sporting Lagos. I went
Lagos.
to go and watch a match of sport. You've been to the stadium. They've got box. They serve food. They serve drinks. It is a well-run system that this young man from tech in Nigeria puts his money, and you can see the outcome. So the point is this: what AB is saying. Go back to that point. Don't come every time Olympics. So why did the investment?
Can I just say
The
something?
investment in, yes, I agree with you. We've got some bad people, bad eggs there. But when the private sector, the market-free private sector, puts his money into things in Nigeria, you see the outcome. Everybody go and what to be doing advertising. Go and watch a Sporting Lagos match. That is an example of how you can
whatever
invest
you're
in a
saying
club,
of Sporting
in
Lagos,
sport.
is even small. I will bring you one of these. We can follow me to Kenya to go and see Remo Stars and Magnificent.
Right.
What you see in Sporting Lagos is baby compared to what
So
Remo
that's a
Stars
positive
is doing.
story. That's
No,
investment,
see,
right?
Sporting Lagos didn't even build a stadium. This one built stadiums.
Right.
Built an ecosystem. That's a
So it can work.
Wait, that's a positive story. See, it's always worked.
Okay.
Abiola Babes is there. But who frustrates them in the end? Who frustrates them in the end? That's the
I'm
question.
with you. We're on the same
Listen,
page. What I'm
it
saying-
is these same government
Yeah.
officials that go ahead and frustrate them in the end. Look, you are talking about supporting athletes. Premium Trust Bank, Ayos people's friends, adopted Toby Amusho, promoted her, pumped money into her. In fact, at a point, they wanted us to come and cover Toby's events.
Yeah.
But guess what? Who frustrated Toby leading up to this Olympics? When she had a doping situation, the government official never stood up for Toby.
Yes.
So it's not that private sector are not doing. Premium Trust is doing. What's it called? Babajebu, all of them are doing. What's it called?
Religious
Naira Diabetes
organizations are doing.
Religious
MFM has a football
MFM
club.
has a football
City
club.
of David had at some point had a football club.
But who disappoints
But-
them
yes,
in the
invested.
end?
Yes, but you need
Yes,
that.
so they-
they-
I
they-
was
right?
going
I think-
to
yeah,
say
okay.
something about Shola Akinlade. A number of these people whom you cite are people who do it as a passion project.
Yes, now.
Because when it comes to profitability and an enabling environment for them to see return on investment, it's still not there. That's what we're saying,
now.
that there has
Right.
to be
It's an environment.
convergence. So
Fine.
if the private sector is going to come in, then the
government
government must
must
also
stand
be
strong.
willing to support
That
investment.
Rotus,
That's what we're just saying.
if you've ever gone to a government establishment, the bureaucracy alone will take your dreams and quash it.
You are 100%
Let me tell you.
correct.
Okay,
You're
let
correct.
me
I'm
tell
with you.
Let me tell you the
Yeah.
story of a guy now.
Yeah.
He just sent me a story yesterday. FIG carried it. Guess what? The guy created an app to be able to make easier for you to punish traffic people and get proceeds from people that commit traffic offense.
Yeah, I'm not gonna fly.
They took his copyrights. He's been writing with his lawyer Falana to Lagos State government now. He just sent that case to me. Since 2015, he's trying to get a litigation with them for billions of naira. They took this guy's dream and they quashed it. One engineer, he sent me a message. He was crying. Just imagine that. Do you know how that app will have worked with getting revenue for Lagos and everything? They took this guy's dream and they pocketed it. He's written letters and letters and letters. He doesn't want to go to court because he wants to go to court with the government. It's going to be long. So these are the things we keep saying.
Copyright infringement, Rufai.
Yes.
Eddie, what was the point you were going to make?
What I wanted to say is, in Nigeria, sports is like hit and miss, right? Some people are doing it right, you're not doing it right, but if there's an umbrella, a particular umbrella, because you go to other foreign countries. For example, a country like Egypt, when you go to Egypt, you cannot walk so far without seeing courts on the road. You see young boys and girls cycling. They're already preparing. In Kenya, it's also like that. They make a maximum use of the fact that they're in an area of high altitude and excel. So Nigeria needs to sit down, and we're talking about going back to drawing board every time something fails. But I ask, what is the drawing board? It's just talk. But if you decide to sit down and listen, sports is a huge revenue generation. During COVID, the Premier League, the British government was literally appealing that you came back because because of the money. But in Nigeria, to start the league, you need to wait for the government to bring money to you.
It's private sector. The private sector is always the answer. The private sector is always the answer. It's the private sector.
Okay, look at the point you're making now. The private sector is always the answer.
Yes.
When the private sector goes ahead to do things in Nigeria,
the
government now destroys. Look at the league. It's not that we can't get viable sponsors. Look at how MPFL had been dilly-dally. Look at the state of our Nigerian league.
Agreed.
That the TV company had to pay a paltry amount to cover our league when the league should be doing way more. This premiership you are talking, see, a couple of businessmen came up in the 80s, including the former owner of Tottenham, now this guy on British, Lord Sugar.
Yes, Alan Sugar.
And they formulated what the premiership is today. Guess what? They got the backing of the government because it was bringing revenue and influence capital. But here, when you do it, a government official will be asking you, what is it
in it for me?
That's the culture. We'll take a short break now. Ebi, thank you so much.